What's good, God Squad? It's your boy Cat the Guy, and we back with some more breaker footage and videos. Today, we are going to be talking about something that you guys have been wanting for the longest, and I am talking about movement. You guys have been in my Twitch chat, you've been in my TikTok, and you've been in the comments asking, what is some of the best way to move in Dragonball The Breakers? Well, I'm here to talk to you guys about the best items that you need in order to be a movement god in Dragon Ball The Breakers. Now, we're going to be talking about 5 different items that I believe that should work in tandem or should just be separate and are good for movement. So let's go ahead and dive into it. But make sure you guys are liking my content, you're subscribing, and you're also checking out my TikToks, my shorts, and all the other videos that are representing Dragon Ball The Breakers, because without you guys, I would not be here. So thank you guys for watching, thank you for subscribing, and thank you for interacting with my content. Let's get into this movement. All right, guys, squad. So the first item, or should I say items, that we will be discussing today is the grappling device and the floating device. These are 2 items that you can get without paying, without rolling, and something that you should be able to use on your first day, first week, or first month into the game of Dragon Ball The Breakers. Now, I say these 2 items are the best movement items, or some of the best movement items, strictly because it's easy to attain and it allows you to cover a great distance. Now, once you use the floating device, I like to call it a trampoline. Once you use that and couple it with the grappling device, it becomes a great tandem of getting away from the raider. Now, the trampoline device, or like I said, the floating device, allows you to jump very high and allows you to get super high up into the sky away from the raider's point of view and out of their line of sight. Now, once you use that with the grappling device and make sure that you hook onto something that's pretty far away or something that allows you to get away from the raider, I believe those 2 items together are seriously the best tandem. And like I said before, once you guys are using the grappling device and the floating device, your first day in, your first weekend, you will be getting used to the movement and you will be planning some great escapes with those 2 items. The next item, or should I say skill, that is on my list is something that you can get from the spirit siphon by either rolling with the summons or using the TP or using whatever other means that you have by getting it. It is called Kaioken. Kaioken you get from Goku's summoning, and that skill allows you to cover a lot of distance pretty fast, pretty far, and allows you to get out of the range of the raider who is spamming or doing anything of those sorts. But I will say the Kaioken will make you red and you will make a loud noise screaming Kaioken, and that will alert the raider. But if you getting away, you already getting chased, who cares? But Kaioken is the next one that I would say is a must, just simply because if you're the type to try to get away from the raider, you're really just trying to get through A through E and trying to find the keys to the Dragon Balls, and you want to cover a lot of distance, Kaioken can allow you to help that in a whole different way than a floating device or the grappling device can, strictly because it's quicker. You can cover a lot of distance faster and at a decent speed, and it's a most definitely a must-have on this list. I know I said items, but this skill is useful. The next item that is also easy to obtain is the hovering device. Now, the hovering device is something great that you can use to help yourself, whether if you want to fly away or whether you want to help your movement on the ground. Now, the hovering device is also something that you can get easy in day 1 or day 2 as long as you spend some of that zenny, and you can get it from the shop. This item is gas. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't like using it until I actually bought it and found a way to figure out how to move around with it. Now, again, that with the floating device actually helps you, but the hovering device by itself is just a viable option. You press X, you hit R3 or whatever it is for your system, PC, Xbox, what have you. I feel like that helps with your movement, just pressing jump and floating, especially when you use the floating device as well. Now, that is a awesome item, and I feel like everybody should have. If you're not using the hover device, I'm pretty sure it only costs 6,000 to 8,000 zenny. It's a must cop item, and it's also something that you can get in the beginning of the game that will allow you to maneuver and juke and get out of the way of the raiders' line of sight. Easy and out of frame. It allows you also to cover a lot of distance that you normally wouldn't get unless you're using a bike, a dinosaur, or you have some other means like a grappling device. But again, the hovering device is number 2, and I feel like that's something else that you should have, especially when you're playing Dragonball The Breakers. The next item on my list that's actually an item that you can obtain, especially if you get it up to level 10, it is Bulma's Ride. Bulma's Ride, scooter, moped, whatever you want to call it, is one of the dopest things that I've seen today. And just me playing Raider all day today on my Twitch stream and on my TikTok, I've seen a lot of people using Bulma's Ride. If I said it's an item, it's a skill. It's a skill or a passive skill that you can obtain by using Bulma. But that thing is fast. If you thought Kaioken was quick, if you thought the grappling device was quick, the Bulma's Ride is something totally different. That, coupled with the smoke, allows you to cover great distances and you won't be locked on by the Raider. That skill is amazing. Like, I did not think Bulma's Ride was that awesome until I've seen it being used against me, and I could not catch the survivors. I couldn't catch the breakers. I literally had to just sit them, literally leave me in dust while they're scattering across A through E like it was nothing. But again, Bulma's Ride, whatever it actually is called, is something that I believe a lot of people will be using in the upcoming, weeks or months to come, especially when it comes to the new Raiders that are coming out, like Vegeta and anybody else, because those things will allow you to get away expeditiously. So make sure you go cop Bulma's Ride, scooter, moped, whatever it's called, because that thing is amazing. Last but not least, the passive skill that you get from Android 18 if you purchase the $30 edition, the skill or passive skill is called Wall Kick. Now, Wall Kick basically allows you to, spam X and, tap kick onto the walls or whatever you want to climb on. That skill actually allows you to scale pretty easily, and if you do it correctly, you can get away from the Raider at a pretty fast rate. Now, I know a lot of people cannot, get Android 18 or didn't use the $30 edition, didn't purchase the $30 edition, and I feel like you're missing out. The Wall Kick really allows you to get a lot of distance covered, especially when regarding scaling or riding the wall, just because you cannot do that as a regular Raider. A regular Raider just grabs onto the wall and that's it, and now you are sitting duck. But if you have the Wall Kick, you can spam X or whatever your button is that you use to climb, and now you can get away from the Raider pretty quickly. Now, covering all the different movement items and skills throughout this entire video, I feel like if you use any of these or a tandem of these or all of these, your movement will be top tier. You will not be getting killed as easily as you once were. And then on top of that, you will be a threat to any Raider in any setup as long as they're not level 50s and up. But I can really guarantee you that these will help your movement and you will start to come to really love Breakers. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for subscribing. I really hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I can't wait for y'all to see the next Breakers video. K. The God is out.